Hello, my name is Ilona. Today is January 30th, 2023. And I first want to say something about a message I shared on my Telegram. So if anyone that has Telegram, I suggest you watch it or maybe on another channel. But it's about a South African news channel. South Africa's most popular mainstream media news channel calls out to stop the stings due to high side effects and deaths. So that's very good news that it's actually spoken about and interesting enough. So a lot of things are going on and it's changing in the media as well, especially with things like this. Of course, they're going to be shared. People are going to see it, especially on Twitter, because messages aren't being removed anymore. I think this will be a big hit on Twitter as well. So actually I've noticed in my Dutch video, I was talking about smart cities and I wanted another subject as well. But I've noticed my video is going to get, that's a very long video. So I'm just going to split it in two videos. So the first video, I want to talk about smart cities. I was reading about it this weekend. I had my doggies. I sometimes dog sit and I love those dogs. And they were, they're very grounding. So I really enjoy them this weekend. And I just started reading some articles someone sent to me about smart cities. I have to be very honest, it doesn't have my interest. To be very, there's so much information and they've been at this for quite some time, and it's a very good thing to see the connection with the World Economic Forum, because they are the ones bringing this up. They are the ones contacting local, here in the Netherlands, local city council. So there's this entire thing going on, and this is worldwide. Singapore is apparently a smart city as well. So this is really showing the involvement from the World Economic Forum at a local level worldwide. So here in the Netherlands, they talk to city councils, they have all these projects, and of course under another name and another organization, but it's all about smart cities. Now, what is a smart city? It's about digitalizing a city. So they want to place sensors, they want to, the 5G, of course, and they want it all, they want full control of all this data. That's what they really, in essence, are doing. It's all under the disguise of it's for the climate. We can, the air pollution, we can, see what's going on there. And they want to place all these sensors so they know exactly where you are, what you're doing, what you're saying. But we shouldn't kid ourselves. They already know that. So mobiles, laptops, computers, they listen to anything, all the phone calls, your WhatsApp, all those things, chats, messages. They've got it pretty much all, but they're now showing it to the outside what they really want to do, what they really want to roll out. And apparently in the Netherlands, this has been going on for a while. I've found so many, articles about this. It's just mind-blowing if you think about all these articles about smart cities, what they want. So it's about digitalizing a city and about 15-minute cities. And this is where it gets interesting because they already tried to implement that in Oxford. So they placed all these blockages on certain roads. And it really means 15 minutes. Cities means that everything has to be in 15 minutes from your home, if you walk or by bike. So you won't have to use cars anymore. It's all for the climate. It's for your safety. That's why they always bring it. It's always something good. But in the meantime, of course, it's part of transhumanism. It's part of keeping everyone locked in and knowing everything. This is part of their this plan towards what they really want, and that's take full control over humanity. So they want to know everything, they want to digitalize everything, and they of course want you stuck in a certain area. But this is very interesting because I just kind of wonder how they're going to do this logistically. Because those 15 minutes, it is everything for you. Your work, this is interesting because a lot of people work somewhere else. Well, you're going to have that factory suddenly placed within that 15 minutes. How you're going to do that for every worker that works there? So that's interesting, because of course has to do with the fact they want to get rid of a lot of companies and they want people working at home. Because then, of course, they don't have to go anywhere and they're stuck inside. So I think that's probably why they want people working at home as much as possible. But anyway, for people, in other professions that, a plumber, I'm not sure how they're going to do that. And working for a bigger company, like things like that, maybe they get exceptions, but it's very strange. So everyone has to be within their job or work within 15 minutes. How about hospitals or medical care? That has to be in those 15 minutes as well. So you're going to place hospitals everywhere, and I'm not even sure how they're going to do that. Or you get an exception, then you can leave. In Oxford, they apparently want like that you have 100 days a year that you can actually leave that center. It's just insane if you think about that. So it's I'm not even sure how they're going to do that logistically. If you take care of family members who are outside of your 15-minute zone, well, you can't visit them anymore. You cannot take care of them anymore. Well, they're going to get those family members in your 15-minute zone. How do you even want to do that? That's the insanity of the idea. And that's, of course, also necessary to wake up people, to show them this is what's going on. The entire idea is, of course, insane if you think about it. Anyway, I just thought it was very interesting, and it's just a really strange idea to me. But people are already against this, and I've shared a video of people in Oxford actually pouring cement in all those blockades they've got. They want to place and use, and just tearing it down because they're not accepting it. And I think rightfully so. And I think a lot of people around the world, it's important they start talking to people locally and they start using time in their city council. I do believe that people need to get involved and, on that level as well, at least to talk to people that are doing these things. So, to let them know that we don't want this. Ultimately, it's really about whether we are going to accept this or not. But this is very interesting, and to me this is about waking up people, showing people what's really been going on, and the connection between the World Economic Forum and really city councils. They are at that level. They have infiltrated all levels, and that's part of showing people. So the cards I got for the smart cities, first of all, was the Ace of Cups. So this feels to me like a confirmation that really this is about waking up, because that's the feeling I'm getting with these smart cities. It's about waking up people. Central card is the Nine of Pentacles. Card in the past is the Eight of Wands. Underneath the Nine of Pentacles is the Two of Wands. And for the near future, we have the Magician and we have the King of Pentacles. Especially with these two cards, this is about independence. This is about really using our own powers to manifest what we want. How do we want to live? Because in essence, technology and like money, it's just energy. It's how someone wants to use it. The dark energies want to use technology to fully control us. But you can use technology in a very good way. I also shared an article, a Dutch article, in a village in the Netherlands. I think two young men portrayed themselves as workers for the bank, and they actually took money from someone. And that person actually started, mentioning this on the WhatsApp. You have for your village certain apps you can share. So people started looking for them and they found them. So they were actually taken in by the police. And that shows you that technology can be used for good things. It's the intention behind it. And I think it's very important that we, as humanity, start to become independent. What do we want? What do we want to create? If we want to step up against these dark energies, we need to know what we want to, place and what we want to manifest. And I don't think there's anything wrong with money. I don't think there's anything wrong with technology. It's the person that's working with it that has the imbalance. And usually when they're working for the dark sides, their imbalance is towards dark energies. That's why they're using it against humanity or other people, and they don't have any problem using it against other people. So it's really about, if we want to win this spiritual war, that's what it is. We need to look at our energy. That's why I emphasize consciousness. That's why I emphasize the shadow work. It's so important to balance ourselves. Because if we are balanced, we can start manifesting what we truly want. They won't be able to control us. They won't be able to manipulate us. And they certainly won't be able to use our energies to suppress us anymore. If we are fully in our own our power, they won't be able to suppress us. They won't be able to control us. So this is really this entire smart city and the fact that it's now coming out, although there are a lot of articles about it already. So this has been going on for quite some time. This is really about getting people out of this empathy. Like, a lot of people have no idea. I didn't even know fully about all these smart cities. I've heard about it before, obviously. But I didn't know it's been going on for such a long time. And a lot of cities here in the Netherlands have been working, or at least working towards implementing those things. If you just think about that, that's been happening again in the dark, so to speak. Of course, the people that are involved know about it, and a lot of people that are involved think they're doing a good thing because that's how the dark energies sell it. It's for the climate, it's for connection. How easy is it if it's off in 50 minutes? You don't have to go far away and everything is near you, your work, supermarkets, all these shops, things that you need. It's all within 50 minutes. It's easier and you get more connections. That's how they bring it. So a lot of people working with this actually think they're doing a good thing. That's why it's so important to connect with yourself, because then you'll intuitively feel like this isn't right. This isn't the right way to do it. But this is about waking up people, getting out of this apathetic, attitude they have, and then they can start becoming independent and following their own line. What is important to me? How do I want to have this world unfold or manifested also for the future generation? So this will lead to more people stepping into their power, and the King of Pentacles is about working towards something new, towards this new community, I believe, of sharing, connection, harmony. That's what I truly believe. And ultimately, I'm not even sure we truly need technology as spiritual beings, but we're in the process in that. So why not use it for the good of humanity instead of against humanity? Like I've mentioned before, there is ultimately nothing wrong with technology. We can now speak to people around the world. We can now share our information. The great awakening is thanks to the internet and a lot of people connecting. So in a way, technology can be a good thing. It is depending on how certain groups use it, certain people use it, and how we let it use us. Ultimately, it's about what do we do about that? How do we let it use ourselves or not? Will we say no to certain things? Especially the digital, sensors everywhere. Why? Why is that necessary? And, where you live. Personally, I don't see the advantage of that. So, and ultimately, if we become more balanced, we be more caring and loving about other people, and a lot of violence and things like that will fall away, because that's all based on an imbalance. And if that imbalance is not there anymore, then those things will not happen anymore. So I want to talk about something that's very Dutch, actually, and it has to do with privacy of people's sting status. So maybe this has to do with other countries around the world as well. I'm not sure, but in the Netherlands, they can do proper research because of the privacy of people that have died. So the sting status shouldn't be known. But this is very interesting. I shared a clip yesterday from media in the Netherlands, a certain program a lot of people watch here. And one of the presenters there was talking about the fact that there should be an investigation because of the excess mortality. So, and there was also someone else. He is always the person that tries to deflect and thinks that if you mention anything about stings, you're anti-stings and things like that. But the presenter was very, persistent and said, well, why can't they just do a research about that? Because then people will know. Then you don't get these theories, these wild theories going on if they research something. And he mentioned that there are going to be researches planned about these excess mortality here in the Netherlands. But none of the research is about, of course, the stings. And he says, this just leads to more confusion. Why aren't they looking into this? And he mentions that it's not allowed because of privacy rules. But the interesting part about this is that I've looked it up, some articles here in the Netherlands, and that really we have called the AVG, that is the Algemene Verordening Gegevensbescherming, which means that it's about how people can use certain, data about people. So this is the protection. It's like a privacy protection. But it mentions that it doesn't apply to people that have died. So there really isn't a privacy rule against not sharing the status, which is very interesting. I also found another article where the minister at the time, this is from 2018, the Minister of Justice, if I'm not mistaken, talks about that the privacy law, the AVG, is not doesn't apply to people that have died. So this is very interesting. So really, there isn't any law to prevent that the status that it's protected. So this is very interesting because also if you look at what happened the past 3 years, at least in the Netherlands, apparently people that are dead are protected. We are not, we are not supposed to know their status. Although, like I've mentioned, there is no law against that prevents them from actually sharing this status. But we had the pass for a while here in the Netherlands with everything that's going on. If you wanted to go to a restaurant or even to a gym, you had to show your status, which is so to some random, waitress or waiter, you apparently don't have any privacy. But someone that died, yeah, we can't share that. And we had a Minister of Health at that time, Hugo, actually mentioning this. So there is actually evidence of this, saying that he knows everyone that did not get the sting and that they will go door to door to get those people. Because then apparently privacy doesn't apply either. So it's very interesting. So I wanted to do just a card reading on this, and the cards I got was the King of Cups, the High Priestess, that's the central card. We have the 3 of Pentacles in the past, and we have the 9 of Cups underneath the central card, and then we have the 8 of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So ultimately the truth is going to come out. Especially, with news like in South Africa coming out, they won't be able to suppress this anymore. Especially in Twitter, things like that will be shared. So we know that things are changing. But this has to do with they want to keep secrecy. They purposely are using it to keep people in a comfortable position, especially people that gotten the stings. So they're like, we're not going to share this. It has to do with privacy. Obviously, this is nonsense. This is just to keep it secret, because they are not prepared for what's going to happen when this comes out. But people are feeling left in the cold. They're feeling left, with nothing. We have, I've shared a clip before too. I've shared 2 clips from people here in city councils using time to speak up against the stings. And this is very interesting. More and more people are going to speak up about this, feeling left in the cold, feeling powerless. So they're just trying to postpone the inevitable, that the truth will come out. And then, of course, they're going to see that the government really... of course, the people in the truther community, we are well aware that they are not there for us. They are there for a certain agenda, a lot of secrecy, they like to show themselves as the good people when they're obviously not. Although some of the people working for the government probably really do this from the best intentions, but the top, and I'm really talking about the ministers, our prime minister, they're really not there for the Dutch people. And of course, this is a worldwide problem, that governments are not there for the people of the country. But this is to keep everyone quiet. And, if we don't mention this and just say it has to do with privacy, so we cannot share this information, no one's going to do anything about it. Well, more and more people are feeling powerless. They're going to speak out, and the truth will ultimately come out. But that's what this is about. It's really about the suppression of truth. So to me, this is quite interesting just to see this, but it's not going to last very long. So this is going to come out. I also did a card reading for the coming week, what we can expect for the energy for the coming week. And the cards I got was the Knight of Cups, the 3 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Wands. So this is the energy I've had. And I believe that more and more people, it's almost like, I think the white hat plan is going to roll out. We're going to see more things coming together, like in America with all these documents. And they're now going to look at former presidents, Mr. O and Mr. B Jr. So this is very interesting. I think they're going to find some documents there as well. And it's all part of that plan. And I think maybe more initiatives this week. People are going to step forward and showing things, what's really going on. Something is being given to the people this month. I think this week, something is going to be shown. A lot of people that are not aware, do not want to see it. It's going to be very difficult for them. I think the people in the truther community, we know what's going to happen. We know what's going to come. But for the people that are not aware, this can be very tough pill to swallow, what's going to come out. So I think this week truths will come out. Again, a lot of people do not want to deal with it. There will always be a group that will not wake up, will not be ready to open up. And that's just the way it is. So something's going to happen, some kind of organization, or how to say this, working together. So it could be the white hat plan, working together to make things happen, like with the documents, things are falling into place. Could be other things coming forward, people working together, initiatives that show truths, that show what's going on. The advice cards we have for the coming week is the Ace of Swords, the 9 of Wands, and the 10 of Swords. So we have 2 10s. So there's going to be some kind of ending this week as well. But for everyone, the energy is speak your truth. Truths are going to come out, and I think it's very important to be truthful in your own life, especially with the 10 of Swords. Really, it's time, if there are certain situation in your life, certain things happening, it's time to cut it off. How do you say this? To just handle it, make a decision and step away from it. It's very important people make decisions and just quit with things that are not right to you. So maybe in your work or with people that drain you or have a very negative influence, maybe certain addictions or things, certain behavior you don't like in yourself. It's time to be truthful, to speak your truth also to yourself. And whatever comes up, because obviously this situation isn't there without a reason, deal with it, because it's old pain and it's time to deal with this. So this week can be a week of truth. I think it will be worldwide a week of truth, but also in yourself. And of course, speak your truth. Of course, see who's open for it or not. If people not open for it, just leave it for what it is. Don't waste your time or your energy. Maybe it's time to cut them off. could be both things. But it's time to speak your truth and to stand up for yourself. But also be honest with yourself. There are things that you need to deal with. It's also time to start balancing that in yourself. Handling old pains, looking at that. And really do shadow work, consciousness. It's very important that we work through that and that we leave this behind. So it could be a very important week, at least on a personal level, to work through a lot of things. And I think it's going to be an important week worldwide as well. I think more and more truth is coming out. We know that. But there's something about working together, like things are falling into place. That's the feeling I'm getting. And it's going to be given as like the cup, something to, so people can start to, learn truths. And again, there will be people that won't be able to handle it or not want to hear it. That's the way it is. People are now getting the opportunity. And it's always up to each and every one of us to make that decision. And especially be truthful in your own life and be truthful to yourself. Very, very important. So I'd like to leave it at this. Hope to see you in another video. Bye.